Hey, students, I hope you're doing well. We are in our final essay, the cause and effect essay. Guys, I am so excited. Y'all are doing such a great job, and you should just really commend yourself and be proud of the work that you've created so far in this semester. So, we've done a eulogy assignment where you really unpacked who you wanted to be in the next 90 years and what that looked like. You asked yourself questions like, what are your goals and your ambitions and your dreams? And perhaps, maybe even more importantly, you asked yourself this important question: who am I and who do I want to become? Well, now we are shifting into the cause and effect essay. And let me tell you why I love this essay so much. I love to challenge my students to believe this idea that you are in control of your life and you have the potential to change your life any day that you choose to and to be the person you want to be. So that's what the cause and effect essay unpacks. It allows us to ask ourselves, man, if this is the person I want to be one day, what choices, what decisions, what changes am I going to have to make to get there? So let's jump into this handout. In the past few weeks, we've unpacked the question, who am I and who do I want to become? We've considered our lives at 90 years old, and we wrote down the eulogy that we desired at our funeral. We have looked into the lives of those around us, people that we wish to mirror, and we captured the essence of why we want to be more like those individuals, specifically in the profile essay. But now we're shifting to a deeper message, one that causes us to ask ourselves, if this is the person I want to become, how do I attempt to get to that place? You can also frame this in another way if you want to unpack the effects. If I choose to live this life, what effect am I going to have on the world? So let's talk about a cause and effect essay. So, what's the purpose of writing a cause and effect? It's often considered human nature to ask why and how. We want to know how our child got sick, so we start preventing it in the future. Or why a colleague got a better pay raise because we wanted one as well. We want to know how much memory we will save over the long term if we buy a hybrid car, or how long we'll live if we choose to exercise daily. These are cause and effect relationships. If this is the effect we're looking for, such as living longer, what will cause us to get there? If our children got sick, what caused them to get sick? Was it the germs? Was it the exposure? Was it the fact that their immune system was depleted? This is understanding a cause and effect relationship. A cause is something that produces an event or a condition. An effect is what comes from that event or condition. The purpose of the cause and effect essay is to determine how various phenomena relate in terms of origins and results. Sometimes the connection between cause and effect is super clear, but often determining the exact relationship can be really complicated. For example, the following effects of a cold may be easy to identify: a sore nose, a runny nose, and a cough. That's easy, right? Those are the effects of the common cold. But determining the cause may be really challenging. That's because it can be a number of things. It could have been exposure, it could have been depleted immune system, etc. That is, more than one cause can be responsible for any given effect. Therefore, cause and effect relationships are often complicated and they're frequently leading to debates and arguments. Use the complex nature of cause and effect to your advantage. Often, it is not necessary or even possible to find the exact cause related to your exact effect. So, when you formulate a thesis, you can claim a number of causes or effects to be the primary or main cause and effect. As soon as you claim that one cause or effect is more crucial than others, you have developed a thesis. For this particular essay, I'm going to give you two different ways to write this essay. I want you to consider the person that you want to be in 90 years, and I want you to consider the cause. Essentially, if your eulogy and mentor embody the effect that you want to have in the world in 90 years, What do you have to do to get there? What is the cause you need to get there? The other option you have is to frame this essay by considering the effects on the world. If you enact the cause, what will the aftermath be? How will it change the world around you? So let's look at the structure of a cause and effect essay. The cause and effect essay can be organized in two primary ways. Start with the cause in your thesis and then unpack the effects in each topic sentence, or start with the effect in your thesis and then unpack the causes in your topic sentences. So let's take a look at an example, and I want you to pay really close attention because oftentimes students get really confused with the cause and effect essay, and it's not complicated if you see the practicality of it. So intentionality. If I want to be an intentional person, if that is the goal in my life, what causes me to be more intentional? And y'all, intentional means present in the moment. I'm paying attention to what's in front of you. So here are some causes. Maybe it's mindfulness and prayer. Maybe it's eliminating screen time, considering the people you're in relationships with, formulating a schedule. All of these things, these are causes, and they will lead to the effect of being a more intentional person. So you can organize your essay like this, or you can go a different route and you can organize it like this. If you want to focus on the effects, okay, who will be affected? What will be affected if I choose to be intentional, this cause? So maybe if you choose to be more intentional, your marriage will be better. Maybe your children will have someone to look up to who's present with them, who pays attention to them. Maybe your church will be better because you will be spending intentional time there. Maybe your community will be affected. These are two different ways you can organize the essay, and it just depends on which angle you want to come from. There's not one that's better than the other. It's just, do you want to concentrate on the actions you have to do to get to that goal? Or do you want to concentrate on what will be birthed if you make that choice? Okay, the effects from the cause. This is going to require you to think really critically. You are essentially creating a roadmap to the destiny that you want to have. Please see the outline example for more information and how to organize this essay in the outline portion. And then here are the basic requirements. Of course, MLA format, 3 pages in length minimum. Consider the information that you used in your previous 2 essays to build upon those already existing ideas. Use wise practice in word choice, diction, and language. Consider mechanical and grammatical wise practices. Guys, I hope this was helpful. We're now going to shift over to our PowerPoint, and I want to point out a couple things to you before you get started. So here are some hypothetical topics. And again, you need to go back to your eulogy and figure out what your key points were, and that's where you stem from. But here are a couple hypotheticals. In my opinion, having a strong self-esteem means that others will treat you with greater levels of respect. Good parenting is when you choose to listen to your kids. Being compassionate gives people the freedom to be who they need to be in that moment. Listening to people talk about things in their lives helps us have greater levels of empathy. Y'all, so let's just take a couple of these, okay? And I can break down for you what this would look like. So this, okay, this would be, in my opinion, okay, having a strong self-esteem means others will treat you with greater levels of respect. What this looks like here is someone wants to have self-esteem. Okay, that's the goal. And then what comes from that? Well, the effect is greater levels of respect. So if that's what they want to focus on, okay, then what they want to do is they want to focus on what are the causes of this strong self-esteem, okay? Maybe the cause is to get there. Saying kind words to yourself. Okay. Maybe it's going to therapy. Okay. Talking to a counselor about making sure your self-esteem is where it should be. Surrounding yourself with good people. And again, keep in mind, these are not, you should never be writing in second person or first person for this paper. This is just us brainstorming together. So let's then look at this. These are the causes, the actions that you could take to move yourself to getting better self-esteem. Okay. So sorry about that. Let's brainstorm at this topic. Good parenting is when you choose to listen to your kids. Okay. So we want to be good parents and we want to listen to our kids. Okay. That's the effect. Let's break down the causes. Get eye level with them. Okay. Take time out of your day to have intentional conversations around meals. Talk to child life experts, okay, or child life experts about recent data, research, techniques. All right. Enacting these causes, making these decisions will lead to this effect of listening better to your kids. So here's where I'm going at with this, y'all. Hypothetical topics. Figure out what's important to you. Do you want to be somebody who really is a good family member? You're a good mother? Then figure out what it's going to take to be that. Do you want to have wealth? Do you want to be someone who thrives and is successful in your business? What is it going to take for you to get there? What causes will it take for you to get to that place? Or maybe you're somebody who you want to talk about the effects. Okay, what if you are a good listener to your kids? What is that then going to breed? A healthy adult, a kid with really strong relationships, a kid who has a strong self-esteem because they feel listened to. What I want you to do for your brainstorming, write down what your end goal is. What's something that you want to do? Get one focus, okay? And then either figure out what is it going to take for you to get there or what's going to come from making that decision. Let's take a look at a strong introduction example. The perfect child. I'm pretty sure that's what they called me at the family gatherings. To many, this would seem worthy of a trophy of perfect parenting. I was the prize of people who put all their stock into developing a child who could read before she was 3, who won all the character awards at school, and who strived every day to reach the idea of perfect. However, behind the mask of perfection was a little girl who was terrified to make mistakes, wondering what her own interests really were, and who craved the accolades of praise by her parents instead of a strong sense of self-worth. This is a cycle and a chain I wish to break as I parent my own children. In order to parent in a way that allows my children room to discover self and find their own sense of success, okay, there's our effect, okay? The effect is to create these children. Sorry, that's not going to work. Let's try something else. We won't do any color there. Sorry about that. So the effect, right, is that we want these children to have their own sense of success, to find self. And the causes are, I need to consider my own childhood and how my upbringing made me feel. Number 1, reach out to those who have childhood education backgrounds for advice. Number 2, and consistently assess my own parenting with new research and new understandings of each child in order to make shifts in those relationships from day to day. Y'all, the effect this student wanted to have was to break a cycle and to have the kind of children who had their own sense of self. So what did they have to do to get there? These are the three things that they need to change, that they need to do in order to reach that goal. That's cause and effect, okay? So let's talk about passive versus active language. What do you know about these terms? The active voice asserts that the person or thing represented by the grammatical subject performs the action represented by the verb. The passive voice makes the subject the person or the thing acted on or affected by the action, the verb. So let's talk about an active voice. Jerry knocked over the lamp. Okay, y'all, what an active voice is going to look like for y'all is saying things like, I need to engage with researchers so that they can teach me the latest trends and data on my children. That's an active voice. That is actively making a decision. Okay, now let's look at a passive voice. The lamp was knocked over by Jerry. Jerry's not making the active choice. You're not making the active choice, okay? So you want to speak in an active voice. You want to remember you have the potential to make these decisions. You are enacting the cause to get to the effect. Passive voices are criticized as weak and evasive form of expression, okay? Guys, for the purposes of this essay, I want you to show me how you are actively engaged in making a change and reaching that goal and becoming that person that you want to be. Okay. So, and I think I accidentally made a mistake and said something earlier. First and third person are welcome in this essay. Second person can be useful, but it is not appropriate for this particular essay. First person language, second person language, such as, and that should say second right there, such as us and we, involves the reader. So some of you in your prior papers are using language like, we know that good parenting is crucial to a kid's upbringing. Y'all, this isn't appropriate because you're speaking for the reader, okay? So you want to eliminate all words such as you are, your, us, we, okay? Speak for yourself. Say I, me, myself. Or if you need to talk for whatever reason in third person, them, their, they are, okay? But we do not want to have these words, okay? We don't want to speak for the reader, and we don't want to speak at the reader as though we're teaching them some kind of how to. Stay in first and third person. All right, I hope you guys found that helpful. We're going to jump into the example Edpuzzle next. And I think when you see this as an example, it will make even more sense. Let's get to work.